I can still hear the tires screeching. 1 second, I was sitting beside him, the man who once promised to protect me, and the next, I was on the side of the road, dust choking my breathing, gravel cutting through my palms as I caught myself from falling. He didn't even hesitate. He stared straight ahead, hand still gripping the steering wheel, while I stood outside the car door, shivering in confusion. "Do whatever you want," he said, almost bored. Then the door slammed. The sound was like a gunshot. It killed something inside me I didn't even know was still alive. I tried to keep my lips from trembling. "Marcus, please," I whispered. But the window rolled up, slowly, like he wanted me to feel every second of abandonment. That morning, he kissed me. Softly. Gently. Now his eyes looked at me like I was trash he regretted picking up. How do you go from love to this? The car sped off, with my bag, my phone, my entire life. My knees buckled. I wanted to scream his name. But what would that change? Cars rushed past, honking at the crying woman in the dirt, like I was the inconvenience. Was I the burden he claimed I'd become? For months, I tried to hold on to hope, to romance, to better or worse. But suddenly I wondered if all those late nights, those unanswered calls, those business trips, were actually hints I refused to see. He would tilt his head and smile when I questioned him, a smile that made me feel insane. "You're overthinking, Mira. You always do. Always. Why do the people we love most know exactly where to stab us? Right where it hurts enough to doubt ourselves." My hands clenched into fists. I wiped the tears mixing with the dirt on my face. No way was I letting strangers watch me crumble. So I stood up, shaky, angry, humiliated, and forced one foot in front of the other. The walk felt endless. Every painful step reminded me. He wanted me desperate. He wanted me powerless. He wanted me to suffer. But suffering does something dangerous. It wakes up the part of you that refuses to stay a victim. By the time I reached that gas station, the humiliation inside me had already begun turning into something sharper. The cashier looked at me like I'd escaped a disaster. Maybe I had. I begged to borrow a phone, my voice barely working. My fingers moved before my brain did. I called the one person I believed wouldn't judge me, his sister, Lila. She and I used to laugh over wine, plan vacations, talk like family. She once told me she wished she had a sister like me. When she answered, her voice wasn't shocked. It wasn't worried. It was cold, almost satisfied. "I told him this would happen," she said. My chest tightened. Happen? What are you talking about? You were never supposed to find out about her. Her. Everything froze. My breathing, my thoughts, my heartbeat. So there was someone else. So you knew. My voice cracked. She sighed, not guilty, not empathetic, but annoyed. You pushed him away. You should have expected this. Expected betrayal? Expected being thrown away, like a piece of clothing that no longer fit his lifestyle? Suddenly, the humiliation wasn't mine anymore. It belonged to them. My vision blurred for a moment from rage, not tears. My jaw tightened so hard it hurt. "Tell me who she is," I demanded. A pause. A whisper. A threat disguised as a warning. "If you try to ruin this for him, we will ruin you back." We. Not just Marcus. Not just the mystery woman. His family. People who hugged me at Christmas. People who said they loved me. People pretending to care, while waiting for the perfect moment to tear me apart. My hand shook as I placed the phone down. Not from fear, but from clarity. This wasn't just infidelity. This was a conspiracy. A carefully crafted plan to erase me from a life I helped build. My heart still hurt, but another emotion kicked in harder. Determination. If they wanted a war, they should have thought twice before teaching me how much I can lose. Because now, I have nothing left to fear, and that makes me dangerous. What would you do if the people you trusted most tried to destroy your life? Comment below. Because in Chapter 2, I learned the real reason they wanted me gone. And trust me, it's worse than betrayal. I thought the worst already happened. Being abandoned on a highway should have been the ultimate betrayal. But betrayal is greedy. It always wants more. The gas station bathroom mirror showed a stranger. Hair tangled, mascara smeared, dress wrinkled like my pride. I splashed my face with cold water, trying to steady my breathing, trying not to break. That's when the real memory sharpened, like a blade pressed against my mind. The gold earring. I saw it glinting near his seat hours earlier. Tiny, heart-shaped, elegant. Not mine. Never mine. When I picked it up, his entire body went stiff. Jaw clenched. Eyes dark. Like I'd found a secret he spent months burying. He snatched it from me, so fast my fingers stung. Then silence. A silence loaded with guilt. How did I ignore the signs? The expensive perfume. The mysterious spa charges on our bank statement. The sudden obsession with looking perfect for work events. And his new password lock, the one he changed the same week he stopped, leaving his phone on the counter. I wasn't a perfect wife, but I wasn't stupid either. I left the bathroom and thanked the cashier again. He offered to call the police. I said no, because what would I say? My husband left me for someone who wears fancy jewelry. Pathetic. Humiliation tastes worse when it's fresh. I stepped outside and breathed in the warm air. For a moment, I just stood there, the world rushing forward while my life stood still. I needed help, but not from his family, not from anyone who knew us. That's when a bus pulled in, going straight toward the town I once called home. I took it. The ride was quiet enough for the pain to grow louder. My thoughts spun like a storm. Who is she? Why did he choose her? How long did everyone pretend to love me while planning this? Was I ever enough? Every mile took me closer to a truth I wasn't ready for but needed to confront. I got off near downtown, not far from the apartment his sister, Lila, lived in. I wasn't going to confront her. Not yet. But she slipped up earlier. She was scared of something leaking, which meant there was evidence. Proof. Weak links waiting to be tugged. They thought I was powerless, but they forgot something. A woman with nothing left isn't weak. She's unpredictable. I walked past a cafe Marcus, and I used to love. Families laughing. Hands held tight. The kind of life I thought we had. My chest burned. I took out a notebook, a pocket one I always kept hidden in the house for grocery lists and budgeting. In it, I started writing every suspicious thing he'd done in the past 6 months. Late-night texts he wouldn't explain. The sudden gym membership. Lila's weird change in attitude. His cold shoulder every time I mentioned children. The page filled quickly. Too quickly. That's when my pen froze. 5 months ago, Marcus's company hired a new project manager. Beautiful. Confident. Curves and red lipstick that left marks he pretended were stress rashes. Her name was Elena. She always smiled at me, like she felt sorry for me, like she knew something I didn't. My stomach dropped. Was she the woman they betrayed me for? I needed the truth, not guesses. I walked toward the corporate building where he worked, my pulse pounding with every step. I told myself I was just collecting information. But part of me hoped he'd see me, feel guilty, regret what he did. Inside, the receptionist recognized me immediately. She smiled too wide. Her eyes flicked to something behind me. Someone. I turned. Marcus, standing with Elena. Her hand was on his arm. Her earrings? Heart-shaped gold, just like the one in the car. His eyes widened, not with love, not with worry, but fury that I dared to still exist. Mira, he said through clenched teeth, you need to leave. Elena tilted her head, lips curling with smug satisfaction. Some people just can't accept when it's over, she whispered. Everyone in the lobby stared. I swallowed humiliation, so sharp it cut. You left me on a highway, I murmured. Marcus didn't flinch, didn't move toward me, didn't care. I told you, he said quietly, don't make this harder. Harder? He wanted me to feel ashamed. Not him. Not her. Me. You're going to regret this, I whispered before I could stop myself. Their smug smiles flickered. Just a little. Good, because I meant it. Now I had confirmation. Faces, motives, names. And I wasn't going to be the silent wife anymore. Would you walk away quietly, or would you fight for every scar they gave you? I'd discover why they needed me gone before the divorce. And trust me, it's money, betrayal, and a secret that cuts deeper than cheating. I spent the night on my friend's floor, staring at the ceiling, replaying his words. Every time I closed my eyes, I could feel the door slam in my face. I kept checking my phone, hoping for a message or apology. Nothing. Just silence. In the morning, I borrowed a phone charger, and that's when I saw it. His WhatsApp profile picture was changed. Him and her. The same woman using MY shampoo. Her lips pressed against his cheek. A fresh picture. Taken last night. My entire chest tightened. He wasn't drunk. He wasn't angry. He planned it. He kicked me out so she could come immediately after. I typed furious messages. Long paragraphs exposing everything. But I didn't send them. Because right before I hit send, a new message popped up. Elias, make sure you don't come home today. You're embarrassing yourself. Embarrassing myself? This was the man who promised, I'll protect you forever, who held my hands at the altar. Now I was just trash he left by the roadside. My vision blurred from the tears. But beneath that pain, something else sparked, a cold heat rising through my spine. Humiliation only turns into two things, a breakdown or a plan. I wiped my face, stood up, and whispered to myself. He thinks I'm powerless. He thinks I will crawl back begging. But he didn't know I wasn't alone. He didn't know what I had access to. Because that spare key he thought I returned, the garage door code he forgot to change, the hidden folder on his laptop labeled receipts. Oh, I remembered everything. Before leaving, my friend hugged me tight. Are you going to be okay? She asked. I forced a smile strong enough to hide the storm brewing inside me. I'm going home, I said, but not to cry. As I walked out, one thought replayed in my head like a heartbeat. He opened a door he will never be able to close again. Next, I was going to step inside the life he thought I could never survive without, and take back everything he stole, including his peace. I waited until I knew he'd be at work, not because I was scared of him, because I wanted time to look through everything he thought was hidden. The house felt different when I stepped inside. Colder, almost like I was the intruder now. Her perfume still clung to the air, floral and cheap. A silent taunt. There were 2 wine glasses in the sink, lipstick stains on both. He always complained when I drank wine. Too expensive to waste, he'd said. I walked straight to the bedroom, our bed already made. His side perfectly smooth. Mine gone. The blanket stripped away like I never existed there. He didn't just kick me out. He was erasing me. My hands shook while I opened his laptop. Same password. Our anniversary. The irony almost tasted bitter. That hidden folder, receipts, finally opened. My heart started pounding. Screenshots of messages, restaurant bookings, hotel receipts, love notes labeled for L. But not a single message with my name on it. Every detail about her affair was carefully saved, like he was protecting her. And mixed among them was something that nearly stopped my breath. A scanned document of MY bank card. My PIN scribbled beside it. Transactions, thousands missing, money I'd been saving quietly for 3 years. He stole from me, to spoil her. I felt the room tilt as anger clawed up my throat. This wasn't a mistake or a drunken lapse. This was strategy. Cruel, calculated strategy. Before I could process, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. He said you wouldn't look through his things. Guess he still doesn't know you at all. My fingers froze. Who was this? How did they know what I was doing, right now? Another message followed. Meet me tonight. I know her. I know everything. Then a location pin. A hotel downtown. Fear and adrenaline collided inside me. Was it a trap? Was this the woman? Or someone who hated Elias just as much as I suddenly did? One truth became painfully clear. This betrayal wasn't just about love. It was bigger, darker, and I was only at the edge of it. So I grabbed the laptop, my documents, the spare key, and whispered into the quiet bedroom. You wanted me to do whatever I want. Now I will. The hotel looked too elegant for the kind of secrets Elias kept. Gold lighting, velvet chairs in the lobby, couples laughing, unaware someone like me existed, someone whose life was collapsing in slow motion. I sat in a corner where I could see every exit. Habit born from fear. My phone buzzed again. Red scarf. That's you, right? My heartbeat jumped. I scanned the room. A woman, maybe mid-40s, walked toward me. Not glamorous. Not seductive. A little tired around the eyes. But those eyes, they were sharp. Knowing. She sat without asking. Call me Celine, she said, voice steady. I don't know who you are, I stammered. You're not the first, she replied. Those 3 words. Like knives. He did this to you too? I whispered. She looked away, fighting something dark in her memory. Yes, and to another woman before me. We almost died trying to leave him. A chill crawled down my spine. This wasn't just betrayal. It was a pattern. A hunt. He keeps women financially dependent, Celine explained quietly. Drains their accounts, isolates them, then moves to the next target. He doesn't love, he collects. My throat tightened. I thought back. He pushed me to quit my job. He borrowed my savings to start his business. He insisted we only use his car, his phone plan. Piece by piece, he took my independence and called it love. But why tell me? I asked. Celine leaned closer, voice trembling. Because he ruined me. Because you're stronger than you think. And because he finally chose the wrong woman to underestimate. My phone buzzed again, this time from Elias. Come home now. We need to talk. As if he sensed I knew. As if panic was setting in on his side now. Celine looked at the screen and whispered. He doesn't want a conversation. He wants control back. I swallowed hard. Every instinct screamed danger. What do I do? I asked. Celine reached into her purse, slid a flash drive across the table. Expose him. Break him. But don't make the mistake we made, she warned. What mistake? She met my eyes, grief buried deep beneath her anger. We forgave him, until forgiveness almost got us killed. I should have known it was too quiet. Celine walked me out of the hotel, promising, You're not alone anymore. But the moment she disappeared around the corner, a black sedan rolled up beside me, the back window lowered. Elias, his smile calm practiced, the kind he used in church, in front of family, on Instagram, the charming husband, but his eyes, sharp as broken glass. Get in, he ordered softly. No, my voice shook, but I said it anyway. He opened the door from inside like a trap. Let's not make a scene. Everyone's watching. Was I wrong to feel afraid? Was I wrong to fight back? Tell me in the comments, because right then I didn't know. He stepped out, moving closer, slowly like I was prey. I had a moment of anger earlier, he whispered. But you know I love you. Come home. That word, home, felt poison now. He reached for my arm. I stepped back. That tiny act of resistance flipped a switch in him. His jaw locked. His voice dropped to a low threat. If you walk away right now, you won't have anywhere else to go. A flash of headlights. Someone rushed between us. Celine. Back off, Elias, she said. His smile returned, but colder. Well, look who crawled out of the past, he mocked. Celine subtly nudged me behind her. You don't own her, she stated. His eyes flicked to me, full of warning. We both know she won't survive without me. I took a breath I didn't have. That's where you're wrong, I said, and held up the flash drive. For the first time, fear flickered in his eyes. What did she tell you? Enough, I whispered. His mask cracked, rage bleeding through the charm. You're making a mistake, he hissed. You don't know what kind of power you're playing with. He got back in the car. Door slammed. Engine roared. He sped off, tires screeching like a threat that promised to return. Celine turned to me. He's scared now, she said. Of what? I asked. She looked at the flash drive. Of the truth. She paused. And what a woman can do with it. My hand shook around the tiny metal device. A weapon. A lifeline. A promise. But as we walked away, a new fear took root inside me. If this is the beginning of his panic, how far will he go when he feels cornered? That night, sleep refused to visit me. I lay in Celine's guest room, staring at the ceiling while her words echoed. He's scared of what a woman can do with the truth. But the truth wasn't clear yet. Not fully. Not enough to destroy him. Not yet. I plugged the flash drive into Celine's laptop. A folder appeared instantly. For Elias only. My heartbeat turned into thunder in my ears. Inside, dozens of files. Contracts. Transactions. Encrypted messages. Names I recognized, but wished I didn't. Elias wasn't just cheating. He was involved in something far more dangerous. You're shaking, Celine whispered, leaning beside me. I don't understand, I said. He works in finance. None of this makes sense. Celine's silence felt heavier than the truth itself. There's a reason Clara protected him, she finally said. Hearing that name again scraped something raw inside me. Clara, my sister-in-law. My best friend, or so she pretended. Why betray me? Why help him throw me away? A notification popped up. Someone was typing on Elias's private chat account, live. Unknown contact. She's a liability. Handle it before Saturday. Saturday. A deadline. A countdown. A warning. What happens Saturday? I whispered. Celine looked terrified. That's when the transfer finalizes, she said quietly. Millions. Illegal. And if someone talks. My breath caught. I suddenly understood. They didn't just want me gone from the marriage. They needed me silent. Forever. I felt a chill crawl up my spine. Had he always planned this? Was I just a loose end to a race? Celine grabbed my hands. We move first. We gather everything. We expose him. Expose him. To who? The police? The media? His powerful friends who probably helped him? Every direction felt like another cliff. But letting him win wasn't an option. If you've ever been betrayed, I whispered into the darkness, you know there comes a moment when fear becomes fuel. This was mine. We spent hours backing up files, screenshotting messages, printing proof. Every click was a heartbeat closer to revenge. Finally, as dawn began to bleed into the sky, I asked the question clawing at me. Who is the other woman? Celine stared ahead, the truth tightening her jaw. She's not a stranger, she said. My pulse hammered. Her voice cracked. It's someone who calls you sister. My chest squeezed. No, not Clara. Before I could breathe, the front door rattled violently. Boom, boom, boom. Someone was trying to break in. Celine's eyes widened. Elias knows, she whispered. Another crash, louder. Then his voice. I'm done being patient. The pounding against the door shook the walls. Every strike felt like a countdown. Celine grabbed my arm, her voice barely a breath. Upstairs. Now. We ran, the house trembling beneath each slam of Elias's fists. My legs felt like water, but adrenaline forced them to keep moving. Halfway up the stairs, I heard the door crack open. Come out, Mira. Elias shouted, his tone disturbingly steady, like a man who already believed he'd won. We slipped into a spare room, closing the door slowly, silently. Celine locked it and leaned against the wood, trying to calm her breathing. My heart was loud enough to give us away. His footsteps creaked closer. I pressed my palm over my mouth, swallowing a scream that begged to escape. He entered the hallway. One step, pause, another step. He was listening, searching, hunting. He stopped right outside our door. My entire body froze. I know you have the files, he said calmly. Hand them over, and this ends right now. Ends. There was only one way he meant that. My mind flashed back to every tender moment, every smile, every lie. I wasn't the woman he loved. I was the woman who knew too much. Celine squeezed my wrist and whispered with her eyes, "Don't move." The doorknob twisted. Once. Twice. Locked. He exhaled sharply, frustrated, then continued down the hall. We waited until his footsteps faded toward the living room. Celine dug into her closet and pulled out a metal ladder that led to a small attic hatch. "We stay until he leaves," she whispered. I nodded, not because I agreed, but because I knew I couldn't panic. We climbed into the cramped, dark attic. Dust burned my throat. Each breath felt like it might betray me. Below us, silence. The kind of silence that means danger hasn't passed, it's just thinking. "He has Clara," I murmured. "She's helping him because there's something in this for her." Celine hesitated. "There's more," she said. Her pause told me the truth before her words did. "That earring you found? It wasn't Clara's." I blinked, confused. "Then whose?" Celine's jaw tightened. "She's younger, very close to Elias, and she hates how much he used to love you." My stomach dropped. "Who is she?" Celine met my eyes. His in turn. Anna. A name I never expected could feel like a knife. I'd invited that girl into my home. Fed her. Praised her ambition. She thanked me with betrayal. A sudden noise below, cabinet slamming. He was searching the office. If he found another flash drive. Celine held up the only one with evidence. Critical. Deadly. "We leave tonight," she whispered. "We go to someone powerful enough to bury him." "Who?" I asked. Her answer. "My father." I stared. Her father, a federal prosecutor known for tearing down corrupt networks. "He'll protect you," she said. Relief washed over me too soon. Below us, the front door slammed shut. Elias left. But when Celine checked through the window, a black car sat across the street. Lights off. Engine running. Watching. "He didn't leave alone," she said. It wasn't over. It was only starting. And the scariest part? Somewhere, Anna and Clara were waiting for Saturday, the day I was supposed to disappear. But now, I'm the one planning the ending. Celine's father didn't flinch when we explained everything. Corruption, affairs, the threats, the flash drive. He listened with his hands clasped behind his back, thinking, calculating, the way judges think before delivering a verdict. When we finished, he unlocked a drawer and pulled out an encrypted laptop. "We're going to make them expose themselves," he said. "No police yet. Evidence first." He inserted the flash drive. Files opened, maps, payment records, messages to numbers marked only by initials, contracts signed under false business names, a hidden bank account. Elias wasn't just cheating. He was laundering money, using my name on documents. They were building a future together, while burying me in a crime I didn't commit. My lungs collapsed inward. "They wanted me gone," I whispered. "Yes," he answered. "And without proof, you would have gone to prison, not him." My vision blurred with rage. Celine placed a hand on my shoulder. "You survived because you refused to be silent." We worked through the night. Screenshots, printouts, organizing timelines. Every click was a step closer to justice. Every detail a fresh betrayal. At 3:47 a.m., a notification popped up. A new message from Elias. He tracked the flash drive. "We need to talk. You don't want this to escalate. Meet me at the pier tomorrow at 9. Come alone." A trap. Celine's father smirked. "We go, but not alone." My fingers shook as I typed. "I'll be there." I should have been terrified. Instead, I felt powerful. Was I wrong to want revenge? Or was I finally fighting back? Tell me, what would you have done? Celine's father printed one final paper, a subpoena request with Elias's name already on it. Tomorrow, he said, we finish this. But right before dawn, I made a choice no one expected. While they slept, I quietly slipped out the front door with copies of the evidence. Not to run, but to confront a different snake. Clara. If she helped frame me once, she could destroy everything again. I knocked at her door. It opened before my hand even fell away. Clara stood there, smirking, like she'd been waiting. I told him you'd ruin everything, she whispered again. But this time she wasn't afraid, because standing behind her was someone worse. Anna. Her eyes satisfied. Victorious. You're too late, Anna said. We already have the rest of the files. Clara crossed her arms. You really thought we would let you walk away alive? Before I could react, footsteps rushed up behind me. Arms grabbed me. A rough hand slammed something over my face. A chemical sting hit my nose. My knees buckled. The last thing I heard before darkness swallowed me was Clara's voice. Say goodbye to your revenge fantasy. When the heavy fog inside my head began to lift, I felt cold metal biting into my wrists. Zip ties. A warehouse. Concrete floor beneath me. A single bulb swayed above, flickering. Not enough light to see them clearly, but enough to feel their presence. Clara's voice cut the silence first. Oh, good, she's awake. I tried to move. A boot pressed down on my shoulder, pinning me. Anna stepped into the light. Perfectly put together, not a hair out of place. You should have stayed quiet, she said. You were only ever an inconvenience. Elias deserves better than a useless wife. Useless. That word. The same one he used before leaving me on the roadside. But now, I wasn't afraid. I stared right into her polished confidence. You think you're his future. You're just his next mistake. Her face twisted. She raised her hand. A needle glinted between her fingers. This ends now. The door behind them slammed open. Celine's father. Police. Flashlights exploding into the room. In seconds, Anna and Clara were pulled away from me, screaming. Elias tried to run. Yes, he was there too, but officers tackled him to the floor. His face crashed into the concrete. He shouted my name like I owed him something. You set me up, he yelled. I laughed. A broken, victorious sound. You set yourself up the moment you left me on that highway. Celine rushed to cut the ties off my wrists. Her father handed me a warrant document with Elias's forged signature highlighted. He won't talk his way out this time, he said. As they dragged Elias past me, his expression changed. No more arrogance, just fear. Mira, please. I stepped closer, voice steady, ice cold. You told me to do whatever I want. This is what I want. He dropped his gaze. Clara tried to spit curses, but her words disappeared under handcuffs. Anna struggled like a trapped animal, but the law held tight. When they were gone, silence fell. Freedom. Finally. But revenge isn't just about winning. It's about rebuilding the person they tried to destroy. Weeks later, I'm sitting in my own apartment, not the one I shared with him. A fresh lease. A new job. My name cleared of every lie. Celine knocks on my door, holding coffee and a smile. You did it, she says. No, I correct her. We did. Sometimes at night, I still hear his voice. The moment he told me to disappear from my own life. But then I remember. He underestimated the wrong woman. My story didn't end on that highway. It began there. And for anyone who's ever been thrown away, humiliated, betrayed by someone you trusted with your entire soul, this isn't just my revenge. It's yours too. If you've ever had to rebuild yourself from someone else's cruelty, you already know how this feels. So tell me in the comments, was justice served? Or did they get off too easy?